G'day mates, Niels here and welcome back to Asagao Academy. Last time we went on our first Flower Festival date with John, and that was a rather short one actually. Oh well, anyway. What do you think? Does that look good? John was pointing to a chunk of hollow wood painted burnt orange, part of a set to make a birdhouse. It was a few days after Flower Festival and we were at the mall. John asked me to hang out with him, and when I accepted he immediately came here. Yeah, last time John just found out that we're poor people, and we told him not to treat us any differently. So he treats us like John would treat people, I guess. It was a little confusing to me. We were talking to each other more than usual, hanging out with each other all the time, but I didn't know whether he considered Flower Festival as our first date. I wasn't sure whether he had feelings for me either. I had feelings for him, but what were they? It was all too confusing, so I almost prefer the general silence on that subject. Right now, hanging out with each other was fun. I didn't want to think about it harder than that. We were window shopping and chatting with each other, but of course, when John saw his birdhouse in a shop window, he stopped. Now, nothing could do would make him budge.
Well,
I do kind of like the colors. It is a home fit for a king. It is heaven. It is the seventh kingdom. Buy it for me. I glanced at the price tag and gasped. Maybe not. Let's, Jack, you like ice cream, don't you? I enjoy it in theory, as every other semi-sentient human being does. Semi-sentient. But you know what I would enjoy not in theory? That birdhouse. John snapped his fingers. He makes a compelling case. Alright, buddy, if it's for you, it's worth it. Finally, you see who wears the pants in this relationship. What? It has pants are fundamentally worse than wearing dresses or going naked. We know who is superior here. What? I jocked warily, but John simply laughed. What a card, right, Hannah? Right. What a card. John went inside to buy the birdhouse. I stayed behind the main center of the mall, watching a mother and her 3-year-old son walking past. Part of the reason I didn't want to go in was because everything in that shop was so damn expensive. The very thought of walking around in there sent shivers up my spine. One wrong move and he packed out a maternity suit for me. The other reason was I needed some time away from Jock. My feelings on him were mixed. Admittedly, it was hard for me to hang around him so much. It was clear that John wasn't going to part with him though, so I tried to suck it up. It was clear that Jock was a well-behaved bird robot, one who was not at all inclined to talent-based bird on a whim, but every now and again he'd flare his wings or turn to bring himself and adrenaline shot through my body, and then he would make references to the South Kingdom. I was constantly on edge. It was nice to have a break, even if it was only temporary. John emerged from the shop, a large cardboard box under one arm. Sweet, I got it. Ready to head back?
what?
What? Already? But we just got here. Oh, we did, didn't we? It'd be hard to like this thing over the mall, though. John made a face at me and I sighed. Fine, let's go back. Sweet, thanks, Hannah. A few days later, I was sitting in John's dorm room wielding a heavy hammer. Is it the Pico Pico hammer? John poked his head over the instruction manual, examining different planks of wood in front of us. I had no idea how this was to become a birdhouse, but John was determined to see it through. Nail this in here. John pointed to a dot in the orange wood. I lifted the A nail over the spot. Here? Yep, there. Are you sure? Yes, it'll be the side. Hammer it in. I scrunched my eyes shut and lifted the hammer. Ah! Whoa, 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 whoa! What on earth are you doing? I froze, staring at him. Hammering the wood? Hammering your
having your fists more like.
I'm better with pottery wheels.
Give me that.
John yanked the hammer from my hand, shaking his head.
Kill you like a maniac, I swear.
But he was smiling even as he huffed. Day faded the night as we worked on the little birdhouse, fielding some harsh words from other boys and a floor and mishaps involving incorrectly attached spokes. Finally, John screwed a peg on the front of the house and sat back on his heels.
We did it. It's done.
It is. Tiny orange birdhouse, not burnt house, even though it is burnt orange in color, or whatever, with a dirty red roof stood proudly in front of us, about as tall as my arm.
It looked bigger on the box, but maybe this is better?
John stood the birdhouse on the edge of his desk and smiled.
Now Jacques has a place to stay when he pretends to sleep.
When he pretends to sleep?
Well, he's got to recharge, but I have to plug him in and watch him for that to happen. Otherwise, his battery could overload, he'd literally explode.
He can explode?
He's got a self-destruct mechanism too, but don't worry, only I know what phrase triggers it.
And the word that you said is triggers, okay. Was that really a good thing?
So now that we're done, do you want to take a break and play some games or something?
Oh, that sounds really nice. Do you mind if we do a puzzle game? I want to practice retirement, so... John's face darkened as soon as I said the word puzzle. I stopped in my tracks.
Puzzles, my old nemesis.
He stroked his beard, then turned to stare solemnly out the window. I timidly approached him, hands pressed to my rapidly beating heart. What happened between you and puzzles so many years ago?
It wasn't what I wanted to happen, I'll tell you that.
John leaned an arm over the window, then heaved a heavy sigh.
I love puzzles. They were good to me, and the return I was good to them. We were symbiotic. But then...
He shuddered.
They destroyed me. I was stuck on a puzzle. A puzzle I'd witnessed several times before, but was never able to solve. I spent hours poring over this puzzle. Days even. Finally, I decided to take a break. What can take my mind off this? I asked myself, and surprisingly, I knew the answer. A new puzzle, a new challenge, something grounded in reality. I would solve a 1,000-piece puzzle.
But John!
I know, I should have known better, should have been more careful. 1,000 pieces is nothing to trifle with.
He clenched his fist and hid his face. After a few seconds, he collected himself and resumed.
I shook the pieces out of the box and set to work, but both games were salty. In hindsight, I should have known better than to puzzle in front of another puzzle.
So, what happened in the end?
I
laid a gentle hand on John's shoulders. He nodded at me, gathering strength from my touch.
I finished a 1,000-piece puzzle, all except for one piece.
No!
No!
That piece went missing.
No!
No!
I found that piece underneath the very puzzle I was solving.
No!
Ah!
Yes, that is as it happened.
John put his face in his hands.
When I returned, a shattered mess, to my beloved computer puzzles, I discovered my save was wiped out as well. I knew then what happened. The puzzle gods are angry at me. No, they are angry with me. And that's why I can't go near them.
He turned slowly towards me, staring at me with eyes ablaze.
That is why you are here.
Me?
Yes, you.
Hana.
You, Hana. You are our only hope. You are our light.
John took my hands in his, leaned towards me.
The light that shall shine over Hyrule. Wait, what?
Wait, no. Legend of Zelda was a PvT thing. Anyway, his brown eyes got bigger and bigger, and what pretty eyelashes he had. Ah. His face just centimeters from mine.
Yeah. Heck. So don't mess this up, okay?
Okay. He stepped away from the window and from me, returning to our rugged birdhouse.
See you later.
Anyways, I've got some work to do now. So I'll see you later.
Summarily dismissed and not entirely sure what just happened, I gathered my things. John was inspecting his planner, frustration etched on his face. Alright, thanks anyway, John. John glanced at me and seeing the sad look on my face, frowned.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed myself. This is fun. We should have more often. I'm not satisfied with seeing you alone only every couple days.
That would be nice.
Huh.
I don't know.
Yes, it's a shame you're not interested in knowing Clay. I would get to see you all the time then. I swear you're just right for a tree.
He shook his head sadly.
See ya.
God.
Anyways, be seeing you.
The more time I spent with John, the more attractive the prospect of joining the play became. Of course, being a tree was not something I would ever be proud to admit to. I certainly wouldn't be running home and telling my bad dad about it. Well, if I could see John every day, that just might be worth it. Oh god. John and I tried to spend more time together over next week, but it proved to be rather difficult. Between John's play practice, our homework, PB&J, normal Boots Club meetings, and practicing for the tournament, there was hardly any time in which we could see each other. Even when we did, we were almost never alone. I was in my room, PPG in his, students wandering the fields and hallways. All the time I wasn't spending with John, I started to reconsider his proposal. As insulting as was his belief that I would sincerely make the best tree this side of the Pacific, I had no doubt he sincerely meant it as a compliment. Sorry, I'm still sick. John was prone to putting his foot in his mouth. He was blunt and straightforward, and usually said exactly what he meant, even if that wasn't the most tactful thing, or even what his true feelings on the situation were. Besides, if you looked at it in a different way, being a tree really was a special kind of talent. One had to remain still and completely and totally lack presence. Apparently ninjas trained hard to develop this kind of ability, and here I had it naturally. Sure, pretending to be a tree wasn't exactly as cool as being a ninja, but it would be kind of cool to be in a play. Due to my stage fright, I'd never been in one. If I didn't ever have to speak to be a tree, it was a perfect role. I didn't think another opportunity as perfect as this would come again. So with these totally reasonable, not all reaching justifications in mind, I went to class to talk to John. Oh god. But John wasn't in class that day. It was unusual, but not totally unexpected. John was falling behind preparations for play and had been working hard. It wouldn't surprise me if he'd skipped class to build a set or review costume designs. When class finally ended, I headed to the theater, intent on accepting John's offer and helping any way I possibly could. I opened the door to the theater, it creaking with what felt like deliberate menace. The light... Jesus. The light from the open doorway cascaded through the audience seats and down onto the stage, but nobody came. The house lights were off. Only a few lights dimly lit on the stage. Maybe the drama club didn't meet every day? But it was weird to have those lights left on if nobody was around. I wasn't about to go fiddling in the dark with the stage equipment though. Maybe John was resting in his dorm room. I turned to leave when something made me pause. Was that a sniff? Someone was whimpering. Concerned, I stepped down towards the stage. Hello, is anyone there? My voice echoed, bouncing off the walls backstage. There was a slight chill to the air the further down I went, and the stillness caused goosebumps to creep up my arms. I heard again, this time to my right. Hesitantly, I followed the sound, heart pounding hard enough to shake my vision. A dark form emerged, huddled against the wall. Who are you? What are you doing in here? I took another step closer, and my vision adjusted. It was John, hunched over something in his hands. His face was pale and lined with smudged tears and sweat. It looked like he hadn't moved in hours. John! I rushed to his side as he attempted to stifle his sobs. He reached an arm towards me. I took his hand in mine.
Hana.
Anna, it's terrible.
What happened? Are you sick? Are you hurt? Another stifled cry. John shifted. In his lap was a tangled mess of wire, bolts, and green? Oh no. Realization hit me like pot shattering against the floor. Wait, the medicinal kind or the... Never mind. That can't be...
Jack, he's...
John stared at the mess in his lap, shaking his head.
What?
What happened? John howled, crouching over Jacques' mess of a body again. I checked myself. It was too soon, and John was in too volatile of a state to really be talked to. Instead, rubbed his back, trying to talk in a soothing voice. Well, it's okay. He'll be okay. He's a robot, so he can be repaired. He can be rebuilt. Worse comes to worse. John continued, shaking his head, completely inconsolable. I had no idea whether Jacques couldn't be fixed, or if he was just losing it. Instantly shifting to caretaker mode, I gently placed a hand on the side of John's head, stilling his near constant shaking, and pushed it onto my shoulder. He'll be okay. We're gonna figure something out. He'll be okay. Focus on the sound of my voice, okay? I'm still here. You're still here. He'll be okay. I tried to murmur calming things, humming songs and gently rocking him back and forth. Back when I was still living with my father and started having panic attacks, this is what he would do to calm me down. I squeezed my eyes shut, praying it would work for John too. Eventually, John's trembling calmed. He sniffed, then he wrapped an arm around me, hugging me like a teddy bear. We stayed at that for a while. I didn't know how much time passed, but I eventually lost feeling in my legs. Finally, John spoke.
Jack is the most important thing to me. What am I going to do if I don't have him?
I pulled out of our embrace, searching his face. You'll be alright, John. You're much stronger than you think. Believe me. Jesus. John swallowed, turning away from me. From somewhere within, he gathered the strength to pull himself together. After another second or two, he sat back on his heels and looked at me.
Thanks, Anna.
He was still very clearly upset, but at least he was coherent. I nodded.
Maybe there is a way we can fix him. I'm not sure, but when I saw him like that,
His breathing sped up again, the beginnings of hyperventilation. I realized them from my own experience. I stroked his hand. It's okay. We'll take him and see right now. Just focus on that for now. We know for sure. Let's focus on what's happening right now. John nodded solemnly. With a gentle hand, he took off his jacket and turned to what was left of him. He placed everything in his jacket, then balled it all together in his arms. When he had checked that there was no holes bolts could drop out of, he nodded at me. Let's go. We rushed from the theater to Bluebell House, heads down to avoid eye contact with the students. Thankfully, due to the chill in the air and lack of sun, few students were out. Neither of us were interested in answering the questions that were sure to come once people saw the look on John's face. When we finally made it to Bluebell House, John asked me to fish the keys from his pocket. I did so, ignoring the blush that fought to rise to my cheeks, somewhat irritated that even in such a grave circumstance my mind wandered to other things. Finally, I pushed open the door and John rushed in. So I followed and checked the hallway. Nobody had come out of the rooms. We were, as far as I could tell, safe. John went straight to his desk in the back of the room, where a small metallic contraption was attached to his computer. Seeing as it was Jacques' size, I assumed that was where he slept, or charged. I sat on the couch, just trying hard not to make a sound. John was, for a moment, not utterly consumed by his grief. I was terrified that something I said or did would break the spell. Thankfully, Pichu was nowhere to be found. More than likely, he was on the field, practicing for Asagao's first game against Tofo High, full of birds. John placed Jacques' remains on his desk and unwrapped his jacket, moving painstakingly slowly so as not to alter the positions of the wires and gears more than they already had been. When he finally finished, he put on his jacket without seeming to realize what he was doing. Those jackets were like their second skins, it seemed. John paused to survey the damage. I peered over his shoulder at the tangled mess. Jacques' head and claws still visible, sort of. Some of his feathers were burned off, along with chips in the internal wiring. Wires were cut and edges blunted. As something that looked like a microchip had a dent in it. One of his wings was completely detached from his body. Sabotage? John turned to me and I hesitantly shook my head. I don't really know anything about robotics. John wiped his face with his hands, pushing his skin up towards his hairline.
I know a bit, but not enough to fix this.
Maybe Satch knows. I don't know.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Where'd you buy him? You could probably take him back and Nick could fix it.
Jack was made by a monk who lives in a technological empire on a mountain's top in Tibet. Or at least he did. He's dead now. I still get updates for that guy's grandchildren. They update the operating system for him because it was easier to figure out than how some old man managed to make both a fully functional AI and a robotic bird shell and stick the two together.
I see. What are we gonna do? It was a question I didn't need to ask. John's head was shaking once again. Some kind of compulsive movement he must have not even realized was happening. He didn't say anything. I never lost a pet. My father and I couldn't afford pets, not on his salary alone. But I knew a lot about grief, the echoing pain with sudden absence. The absence of someone who was always there for you. The sudden feeling of living in a world with no safe harbor, where if only you could look after yourself. I lay a hand on John's shoulder. Do you want to be alone? The edges of John's lips raised in what must have counted as a smile given the circumstances.
Thank you, Hana.
He sat down in his desk chair and became as still as a rock. Before I left, I grabbed a blanket sitting on what I assumed was Sean's bunk and draped it around his shoulders. I had a feeling he'd be like that for a while. As I approached the door, John stirred from his reverie.
Please don't tell anyone about this, Hana. Please.
I nodded. He turned back to his desk. Crept out of the room, shutting the door gently behind me. Yuji would come back from practice eventually, and he would find John there. Yuji had a very calming personality. He'd be able to handle things. He'd be able to help a little, at least keep watch over John. I wish there was more I could do. It wasn't until I was on my walk home that the full impact of what happened hit me. I was so caught up in helping John overcome his shock that I forgot that I, too, knew and cared for Jock. Not as much as John. No way, but I grew fond of the little bird's snark. He's not gonna obsess me ever again, is he? Hot tears rolled down my cheeks, but my face and dulled my pace. Like John, I didn't want people to see me cry. Cry. God damn, I need to stop coughing. Of course, there was no way I could avoid not when I lived with her. I opened the door to my room. As soon as I saw the flickering movements of my ice cold sweater, I ducked my head.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Anna, how'd the whole tree thing go? Good. I turned away, setting my bag on the floor next to my desk. I stood and stared at it. I really thought past getting to the room. I was just trying to get to it so I wouldn't explode in front of everybody, so I had someplace to process things. I was here, and it was all I could do to hold myself together. The next step had fallen to the wayside. Anna, you alright? You don't look too good. I swallowed. Yeah, standing around like a zombie wasn't a good way to get people not to worry about you. I attempted a bright smile. Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? My chin wobbled in the middle of my reply, and the look on my face told me she didn't trust me as far as she could throw a semi-truck. Come here. I sat down on my bed and patted the space next to her. I glanced from her to the door. If I wanted to, I could run to the bathroom. If I did, the stall would definitely be empty. I could cry by myself in peace. I was told no something happened, but at least we wouldn't have to deal with the awkwardness of someone crying in front of you and not knowing how to comfort them. I followed my gaze to the door and slapped the bed. Sit! I immediately sat down next to her. She turned to face me full on. The presence of her big, empathetic eyes staring at me, it was uncomfortable. I grabbed Mr. Bunny. Mr. Bunny had always been there for me in times like these. He was the only one who saw me cry about things like this. Turned my face into his soft fur. What's wrong, Hana? You can't always keep things to yourself. You already do that way too much. I do not. My voice was muffled from Mr. Bunny's fur, but Mai just chuckled. Sure you don't, because I can't hear you crying in your bed on bad nights. Immediately heat sprung up to my face. Had I woken her? How many times had she heard me? Why hadn't she said anything? I rubbed my hands together, shaking my head. Mai stared at me, patiently like a Buddhist monk in meditation. I sighed. Then another thought occurred to me. As sad as I was about Jack's passing, John was even more upset, far more upset. He asked me not to tell anybody, so what was I supposed to do? It might be nice to tell him but... it's not really any of my business. It must be for heaving sighs like that. She wrapped an arm around my back, resting her head on my shoulder.
Oh, no.
Come on, Hana, lay it on me. The old Meister's got you covered. She nuzzled her head into my shoulder, and my heart squeezed.
Well,
I ran into John today in the theater. I looked for him. At first, it looked like nobody was there, but I heard noise, I found him crouched in a corner, and I auditioned for a role, but I didn't do as well as I thought I would, and now I might not get the part. I winced as the lies slipped through my mouth. I didn't deserve this honesty from me. But at the same time, John was a private person. He didn't trust easily, and this was very clearly a private matter, one that didn't belong to the rest of the gossip that sped daily between classroom doors. It wasn't necessarily that I thought Mai would tell people she knew, but the potential harm was far, far too great for me to cave in a moment of weakness, even if I was sad, even if I was grieving again, even if I could use some comfort.
what a jerk!
Man, what is up with that kid? He's always so rude. He spent all this time telling you your preferred part, and he's going back on his word? Don't worry, Hana. You're still the best tree in my eyes, and we both know that's what matters most. I winked and pulled me into a hug. I'm sorry that you're sad, though. I do hope you end up feeling better soon. Life's too short to spend it worrying about some dumb boy. Tears once again filled my eyes, and I patted Mai's arm. Thank you, Mai. Thank you. Well, considering I keep coughing a crap load, I'm gonna end off here for today's episode. I'll continue on next time, though. In case you liked it, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.